It's a very every time somebody leaves my training, they're like, why did I didn't know this a while back? So that's what I'm here. That's what CM is here for, to train you all.
Well, that's one of the things that most people, I appreciate your confession, but that is absolutely one thing that is scary to most people.
Yes,
speaking in front of people. Yeah. Also, I've had people ask the question, I've seen it over and over and over again. It was like, what do you say? How do you start a conversation? How do you start building that relationship?
Right.
And so oftentimes it is exactly what you just said. Yeah. Say hi, how you doing? Smile, make eye contact. That is one way that you can at least begin that conversation. Okay.
Yeah.
And this is what I believe, and you can tell me if this has been your experience and how people can kind of get around this. I believe one of the reasons that people are so afraid and concerned is because in their mind, they are going there to promote themselves. That they are not going there to see who can I help, or as you said, what can I do for you? Yes. And so because they've put so much pressure on, what is someone going to say about me? What is somebody going to think about me? That's why they are afraid.
Yes,
and so if you go in with the mindset of who can I help, you're not as afraid.
Yeah.
So so now, how do you, in terms of your system, do you have a way to help, especially people who say, I'm an introvert, I can't do this, I'm scared to talk to anybody, which is not true, because people talk to people all the time.
Yeah.
Okay. It's just not. It's kind of like you're just having a conversation.
Yes.
I like what you said about the like talking to somebody over coffee, talking to somebody over beer, over in a bar, whatever. People talk to people all the time. Even the most reclusive, the guy in the basement, the only time they still talk to people, whether they're talking to gamers, whether they're talking to, you're talking to people. How do you help people get out of that shell, out of that mind? Because really it's a mindset. How do you help people get out of that mindset?
Well, actually, you hit it. That's actually two things I train them, is that when you go to a networking event, it's a mindset and it's a skill set. And the skill sets are the easy part. It's the mindset that you need to overcome, because the biggest obstacle is self over the skills that you're going to learn, that I can teach you. And so that's the two areas that I try to focus on with these individuals. But I try to also try to create, and not really, it's kind of like a summarized, unique selling proposition. Like for myself, I create something that creates a shocking look in their face. Like, what? I tell them that I'm a mountain climber. Oh no, sorry, mountain expedition tour guide, and they're looking at me like, there is no mountains in South Texas. How do you do that? I said, well, I help businesses climb the mountains to success. And so right away, then they start laughing a little bit. They're like, okay, well, now tell me, what do you do? And then so they want to get into. So it's like that little icebreaker is the key element there. And so whenever I work with somebody, I coach somebody, I try to help them find some kind of icebreaker. And it's not really a full unique selling proposition, but I tell everybody to, do have a unique selling proposition when it gets to that point. But that's later on. Remember, we're not trying to sell. So it's just a simple icebreaker is the key element there. And say, like, for me, I'm a mountain guide, and they're shocked because there's no mountain guides or no mountains around this area, or actually, I think 2,000 miles from here. So it's really to make them feel comfortable as they go through. And actually, I sometimes individuals are extremely frightened. I actually go with them and help them feel like I also tell them, look, I'm an introvert myself, and let's go together and I'll show you how to break the ice. And networking events, it's so easy to do it there. Like if you were to ask me to go do this at let's say a convention or a party or something like that, I would be a little frightened in doing that. It's a little scary because if people are not there to network, they're there for a different reason. And so that's Gail. That's the simple way is break the ice. Have a little way of breaking the ice.
Okay, in one word, how would you really just simply define reciprocity? Like, what, boil it down to its simplest, equation. What is reciprocity in a nutshell?
Well, and I don't know if I can say one word, but in the Bible, I always think of the Bible, do unto others as you want them to do unto you.
The golden rule principle.
The golden rule principle, yes. Well, when you do something for somebody, the key element is that you're not doing it to get something back, even though subliminally that's what you're really doing it for. But you don't want to portray that. It needs to be genuine help to the individuals you're trying to build relationships with. Don't go out there expecting like, hey, I did this for you. You're gonna give me back.
Right. You demand it.
Demanding is not gonna work. No.
Well, no. I think Zig Ziglar also had it in a good way. He said, what he say?
If you help enough people,
other people get what they want, right? Yeah. And so, like you say, it's human nature to reciprocate. I mean, I think I told you when was it? We were talking about even just now with this Hurricane Harvey, right? Actually, on Saturday, I showed this video clip of this guy called Mattress Somebody. Now, this guy opened his whole entire showroom to house people during this hurricane, and he's still doing business. And they're sleeping now on actually his mattress and all of that stuff. And the report says that it's costing him, Gail, $30,000 a day. Now, here's what I say. I think that's a good form of reciprocity in the sense of I believe people will patronize this man just because of what he's doing. Exactly. And I personally say if I live in that area, I would just go and buy a mattress from this man simply because of what he's doing. So that's reciprocity also indirectly, where it's not, he don't have to go network, but he's doing good and that thing is coming back in the form of his business.
Exactly.
Hey, Chance, with reciprocity, I want to give you an example. I don't know, Gail or Chance, has this happened to you? You went to let's say a Christmas party for a company or something like that, and somebody brought you a gift. And you didn't have a gift for them? Which goes in your mind is like you feel guilty. I did not bring a gift for this individual. Right. So when somebody does something for you, it creates, actually it's weird. It creates a conflict. It creates a conflict in your mind that somebody's doing something for me. And so subliminally, you're not really thinking that I need to do something for that person, but subconsciously or in your mind, you're thinking that I need to do something for this person in the future.
Yes, sir. Yeah. It's the human nature. Actually, I just had that happen to me today. 2 days ago, I sent out an email. As you know, I'm going to be going to Ghana at the end of September. So I sent out an email, letting people know about the trip and so forth. And if you want to donate, you can do so. Well, check this out. So a doctor from Mississippi sent an email, of course, and I checked PayPal, and he gave a good amount of money. And then immediately, there is another guy from Maryland who is actually raising money for Hurricane Harvey. Now, we've done stuff for Harvey locally, but because this guy is doing a fundraiser through GoFundMe for business owners now, that are affected by Hurricane Harvey, I personally went ahead and give a donation. But the thing that did trigger in my mind, as you're saying, though, is, okay, this doctor just blessed me. Now I need to bless somebody else. Even though we have done a little bit helping out in Harvey and so forth, I said, you know what? Because he blessed me, and it's early in the morning too, and I opened Facebook, I saw the guy's promotion there, and I went ahead and gave a donation. So I think that's what it is. It did create in me like, hey, somebody bless me, I need to go bless somebody else. So
it created that conflict, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And you know what? I always do this. Every time I get into a conversation about reciprocity, I remember a story, a thing that happened to me. And so I was networking because I used to always attend networking events. People used to say, "Oh my God, yeah, you're always everywhere," and I'm like, I'm doing my best to be as many places as I can. And so I was at an event one month. I met a guy. He was in insurance. Okay, now I owned a coffee and tea distributorship, right? Mm-hmm. And he loved coffee, and actually he loved hot chocolate. So he ended up becoming my hot chocolate customer. Okay. So kind of fast forward, I attended another event So I go to this event, I meet someone there who is also in insurance, but he's a recruiter. He's looking for people who want to open up their own insurance agency. So then I go to him because he's an insurance agent, right? And I'm trying to get my coffee, tea, and hot chocolate into his offices. So we get into a conversation. So he gives me his card and he says, hey, look, if you know a video audio, come across anyone who may want to open up their own store, let me know. And I'm like, sure, okay, no problem, because I'm always connecting people. So but I didn't think about it. Didn't think about it. Next thing I knew, I was happy to have a conversation with the other person, my hot chocolate customer. And I said, have you ever thought about opening up your own store, own insurance company? He's like, you know what? I have, and I'm just getting ready to make a decision. And I said, well, look, here, I met this dude. Here's his card. Before you make a decision, why don't you give him a call? Tell him I sent you and hook y'all up. Hopefully everything turns out good. He's like, okay, cool. So about a few months later, I get a call from my friend who said, Gail, thank you so much. I really appreciate it because I am going to open up a store. And I'm like, great, that's cool. Can I put my coffee and my hot chocolate into your office? He's like, absolutely. Then I get a call from the recruiter. And he's like, Gail, really appreciate the referral. Your guy's going to open up a store. By the way, let me know, where do you want us to send the check? And so I'm like, what check? He said, oh, I thought I told you. We give a $5,000 referral fee.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Hey, all right. And I'm like, here you go. And lo and behold, literally that's how I started my marketing company. Yeah. Because of that. But I had no idea. Here's the other thing. Then I went back to my friend who opened up the store, and his first two clients were both my sons, who are still there, and they got their cars, their apartments, their house, all of the insurance. So it was constantly going back and forth in terms of reciprocity. So it's an amazing thing. And especially, and let me tell you, this is the funny part too. I really somehow kind of really believe this. I have a feeling that if I were to deliberately have gone out only seeking these people because I knew I was going to get paid for it, I don't think it would have worked.
No, definitely wouldn't.
I don't think it would have worked. Because I've been trying ever since. It's just I haven't hit it again.
Yep, you're right.
So
I want you
talking, Chance. I can't hear you.
Oh.
Yeah. So we've got some technical stuff happening around here, you guys. So I'm hoping. Okay. Yeah. So
hello.
You're there. You go.
Yeah, we got you.
Okay. Go ahead, Mike. Take it away, though. I'm with you. I'm listening.
So that's that part. That's good. So go ahead, Mike. Yeah.
I want you to think of reciprocity is equivalent to farming, and selling is like hunting. Okay. Right. Okay. Farming. Imagine if you just get a bunch of seeds, and you just plant as you go. You just plant a seed, plant the seed, plant the seed, plant the seed, plant. Just keep planting. And then eventually, one of these days, guess what? You're gonna have something that grows and actually has a fruit. But it's gonna a food or whatever it's gonna be. But hunting, you go out and you say you kill a rabbit, you cook a stew. That's it. There's nothing out of it that's going to come out of that. I mean, you might have a fur or something like that, but that's a one-time deal, and you're going to have to go and find another rabbit to feed you. But you keep planting seeds. Guess what? You're going to constantly have a harvest.
Put it in your book, brother. That's a good one right there. I like that. That's a good one. And you know what? To think about it, you're right. I agree with that, because here's the thing. Now that you said that, I'm actually thinking back with this doctor friend from Mississippi. Because you see, when my wife and I were in Alabama at the university there, I used to write a lot of recommendation letters for all of these people going to medical and dental school. Yeah. Right. And of course, it was total gratis. And pretty much everybody that I wrote something for got into medical school, or if it was a scholarship, right? Actually, one young man who got several scholarships, even now, he had just contacted me about wanting to write a book. Okay. So, but I'm just saying too, with it, so some seeds grow faster than others.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So we can get a return sooner. But there are some, especially when the sales process involves maybe multiple touches, or if it's a big contract, you're not going to close that right away. But over time, it will yield fruit. And so I'm just saying, I think part of that reason too is that, okay, that Dr. and I, we had something in the past. We did actual work in Zambia before, Zimbabwe, I mean. And so maybe all of that is also bringing back, well, hey, you know, it's been a few years, but now, hey, I just so happened to email him this time, and there you go. Voila, now I got blessed. So keep sowing seeds, But I do like the fact of when you're farming too, though, you got to water the seed, right? You plant it, but you water it. So that's those kind of, you know, like you said, let's go out, let's eat, let's see what you're doing. I'm just checking in. How is your business going? Just want to make sure everything is going all right. I mean, and do it genuinely. Yes. The more sincere you are, I think, is more people want to reciprocate. You know what I mean?
Yep. And so when you're building this relationship with individuals, you're right about the watering. It's not just let people go and on the wayside, and you just constantly have to water that plant, constantly build that relationship. And when you add value to them, constantly adding value to them, there's going to be a point in time, and I've noticed that this has happened to me recently too, is that you get into some kind of situation where you kind of need some help, and you post it on social media. Next thing you know, I got people calling me and texting me and everything else, and that's the harvest right there. That's and right. Because I've helped them, and not that I'm expecting help back, but it was wonderful to see so many people come in and try to support as much as possible. Even it didn't even have to be monetary. It was just a simple, hey, Mike, we're thinking about you, we're praying about you, and stuff like that. That right there is wonderful.
Well, Mike, you know what? Your trainer actually says it best. I mean, Dr. John Maxwell, he has a quote that I say all the time on talking about, you know, anything about sowing and reaping. But he says, reaping is automatic. So you will reap either way. So what's the part that we need to do now is focus on sowing, because you will reap. So here's the thing. Some people say, if I don't sow, I wouldn't reap. No. If you don't sow, you reap worse, right? Because it's not that you just reap nothing. Sometimes you reap, Job says, you reap the whirlwind. So in other words, if you keep sowing good will come out at some point in some way. Like you said, it might not be in the same way. You know, for example, even us, we are sowing seeds right here by sharing nuggets of truths with people every single week, whether or not something is sold. But what happened is with the knowledge, like you're spitting knowledge today, right? Somebody now is going to take that knowledge, because that seed, you planting seeds with your words, with your ideas. Yes. So people are going to take that now, and that's being planted in their mind. And if they act on it, then they too will experience a harvest, right? But remember, sowing is our work. The reaping is automatic. That's John Maxwell.
All right. I like that. That is good. So look, if people are just now joining us, I just want to kind of catch everybody up as to what's going on here. This is the MonetizeU Show. My name is Gail Turner Brown. I am here with my co-host, Mr. R.L. Chance, and we are talking today about how to have a steady stream of customers so that you don't eat just one time, you can eat over and over and over again, okay? And you are constantly blessing your customers and your clients. But guess what? We are here talking to Mr. Michael Wilson, who is a business strategist and a leadership coach, because the deal is you're not just meeting people and selling to them over and over again. You are building relationships. And that's how you get to double and triple and 10 times the amount of customers you have, because once you build a relationship, if it's a good relationship, because you can have bad relationships, okay? That's how people get divorced. That's how partnerships, diminish. But If you build a good relationship, then they will constantly give you referrals and connect you with people. And it's great. You will see your business flourish. So that's what we're here. This is what we're talking about right now. So I am totally loving this. So Michael, what we talked a little bit about, okay, people can go to networking events, and we talked about, hey, look, when you get this started, as Chance mentioned, this is like building a marriage. It's like dating. Okay. Mm-hmm. You can have a one night stand, people do, but that's not sustainable. Okay. We talking about ongoing, something that we really want to have last. So we talked about that. Now, you mentioned earlier about social media, because that's what a lot of people do. A lot of people who are afraid to go out and actually meet somebody face to face, first thing they do is like, okay, let me go to social media.
Right.
What is the correct way to build your social media presence? And as you are building, how do you use relationships and reciprocity to build your social media presence?
Okay, well, I'm going to share a technique first before we get into building a relationship. The way I do it is for myself, my target market is small businesses or business owners, entrepreneurs, MLMers, and I can't believe I got a tongue twister there, and any entrepreneurs. And so what I do is that when I go to a networking event or attend a ribbon cutting or anything that deals where my target market is going to be at, is when I go to a networking event or any type of these events, I can't meet everybody because there's not enough time.
Right.
Because I cannot give quality to everybody. It's too many people, like 50 people. If you calculate it, it'll take like 6 hours to meet everybody. And so what I do is actually I go and go to the events page on Facebook, and I go and introduce myself to each individual there and say, hey, I was at the networking event. Ooh. And I didn't get to meet you, and I'd like to introduce you. Or if I met you, I'd like to be your friend. And this is what I do. And you won't believe this. Actually, about 50 to 100 people, I do that to when I first started that. And everybody was so excited, and they wanted to meet me, and so they became my friends. And that's how I built my we call it fan base.
That is good.
First time I heard that.
I like that. Go ahead, Chance. I'm sorry. That's a really good idea.
Very, very much. Very much so.
Now, this is where I create the relationship, is that I say, hey, look, I'm a trainer, and I know you're throwing a business. Let me go ahead and add value to what I start putting articles. I start sharing ideas to help their business. I start sharing, even potential clients say, hey, by the way, you're in insurance. I saw on Facebook that this other guy was looking for insurance, and let me refer you to this guy. And, so you kind of use social media, because on social media, you can have a lot of people that have needs. And so you try to connect those people that have needs with business owners, and you won't believe that creates a powerful reciprocity. And even people have told me, hey, Mike, I want to give you a referral fee. And sometimes I just tell them, look, to refer somebody back to my business, that would be payment enough.
Child, you better get that money.
Come on now.
I'm just saying. If somebody say, I'm going to give you, say, thank you very much.
Yeah. Well, I do accept, I'll be honest, I accepted a couple, but,
okay.
But you know what? You have to gauge the building the relationship. Do I accept now? True. Okay. Or can this seed bring me more seeds back? So
there you go.
That's true. That's
right.
Chance always says, don't leave money on the table.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yes. Yep. And so
the process is good too. So yeah.
And so what you do is you build that relationship on Facebook. And boy, I tell you what, I have a lot of people that always text me back, hey, I want to thank you for posting that inspirational quote or inspirational video. You really have changed my life. You helped me. I'm getting a lot of that. I even get this at the grocery store, Gail. I walked in a grocery store, and at least my wife and I actually gauge it once in a while. I said, look, we're going to go to the grocery store. Let's see if anybody stops and said, I saw your article on Facebook. And sure enough, every time I go, I get one or two people that say, Mike, you're the guy on Facebook, right? and so I'm starting to be like, I don't want to say a celebrity, but starting to get building a community. I don't want to say I'm a humble person. I'm building a community, and I love sharing value to my Facebook friends,
right?
Yeah.
And because I value them, and you got to share that with them. You got to value them.
Yeah.
And I tell you what. And then next, you know it, every day I'm getting 50 to 20 requests to be my friend now. So I don't have to go look for them. They come to me now.
That is so cool.
Yeah. And so like LinkedIn, I also do it on LinkedIn. I'm up to, unless I check 6,200 connections. And so
you're working it, brother. You're working it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
your friend.
Reciprocity work. I think you are, Gail.
Yeah, I am.
He already made friends there, Gail.
Yeah. Reciprocity is very important on Facebook, on social media.
True.
And that's how you build those beautiful relationships. And you don't have to do it in person. You can do it. You can help do reciprocity with somebody in Australia.
Yeah.
And I have a friend in New Zealand that I try to help out too. And so just use the same system I have on social media. And a little trick that I tell you, that when you go to networking events, try to meet everybody as much as you can. I tell you what, I've never had a problem. Anybody say, "Hey, who are you?" or "Why are you trying to become my friend?" or anything like that. Everybody that goes to networking events, they want to know you. True. So it's very, very easy to do that on Facebook.
I love it. Now we got about 12 minutes before we wrap up here. But Again, guys, I want you, if you're watching right now, please stay for the next 10 minutes or so, because you want to hear how to get in touch with Mr. Michael Wilson. You want to learn about what he's doing, his website and so forth. And also Gail Turner Brown has been working on something, a little project. So we want to tell you about that as well. But anyhow, so Mike, but there's one other little strategy I see you doing. I'd like you to share that a little bit, because you're doing the reciprocation very well on Facebook. I mean, I've told you, hey, man, I like how you're doing it. But there's a little thing that you're doing even with the color schemes. When you post in the text, you have various colors that you're using, and you've been saying that, you notice the different response or engagement. Can you tell us about that?
Okay. I'm a again, a research kind of guy, and I did some beta testing, A/B testing, and what I did in the beginning is I just posted it without any color background. It just a simple, hey, this is what I'm doing. Hey, do you have any ideas? Give me feedback. I did all kinds of ways of doing it, and I did it with just simple text, and I get maybe 4 or 5 responses. But then when I put a red background. And I put it, the large lettering, and ask for feedback or anything like that. I get like 50 responses, and I'll get it like that. And so I found out that the color red scheme is most powerful one. For some reason, is most powerful. I tried the other colors, black and different shades of colors and stuff like that, and I found that the red had more return on response to any post that I did. Yeah, and I've done it for you, Chance. I've done it for your events and stuff like that. You saw the return on that.
Definitely. Yeah. Okay, especially the one about the book titles. Mm-hmm.
Help me understand. Say it again. I mean, okay. I mean, I understand the color red, but I don't understand where you're putting it.
Okay. Well, when you go onto Facebook and you're actually going to do something, you're going to do something on your timeline. Make a post.
Post the status.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. When you first start off, it actually has color schemes on the bottom.
Okay. Right.
Okay. You just click the red, and you have only a certain number of characters. I don't know what the characters are before it actually goes into a regular post, and it takes the color scheme off. So you got to try to fit that all into that color scheme. And so if you're trying to market something, but I noticed that also the way I did it for a Chance, I said, the question I asked in red background, I asked, anybody interested in writing a book? And boy, boo! And a lot of people saying, look, Mike, I want to write a book, and this is the title I want to do, and everything else. And so, all right, Chance, I got you an audience. Look at the post. So you have to have strategy in the way you do it. You're not really promoting your product. You're pretty much saying, like for myself, I did this one time. I said, anybody having a problem, any toxic employees at work? And boy, that was a hot topic, and everybody just started. Well, guess what? I provide training for that.
There you go.
And so you have to use a question that people want to answer, and you have to use a color scheme on it. That's the only bad thing about it.
Gail, I think this has application immediately for you. We talk about you doing this survey. So maybe that's one thing where you can just now, hey, try this strategy and get some feedback right there from Facebook.
Look, you know, you are Mr. Implementation Strategist, right? So I have got to make sure that I take what Michael said, and yes, I'm going to implement that like now, because I didn't even. First of all, I will absolutely confess, I only recently discovered those little background colors. I saw people doing it, but I'm like, how are they doing this? Where's this coming from? Yeah. Intellectually, I know that colors mean something and people have a different effect depending on the color, but I never really thought about a strategy to say, let's try and see if this affects people in terms of response. So
right. And it can be a form of branding. It can be a form of branding, because I think it's good, Mike, like your shirt right now is red. So that might be helpful too. I know there's an actual pastor friend of mine who's in Ohio. Now, he uses black though, but it has become a known thing now. And when his logo is over that thing, it looks very beautiful. So all of his posts now are on a black background. And it has become like his signature now. But he gets hundreds of feedback when he makes posts. You know what I mean? And you can tell the difference too. Sometimes he does have them without it, but most of the time when I see the comments, and it's like you said, it's generally in the form of a question or some kind of a statement where you soliciting feedback. You know what I mean? So he does sermon series, and he would say, hey, by the way, this is what I'm trying to talk about. And then he posts a question. One of them the other day had over 300 and something plus comments. I'm like, man, how do you get all these comments? So that is a strategy that I think many people are going to start picking up on, but it's not as wide really, because I've never even heard some of the Facebook gurus actually talk about that.
You're exactly right. I've never heard that.
Gail and also audience, do this for me. Is if you have something that you want to post online, try it without a background and with a background and see the results.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
By the way, I need to go back and find that post, man. You know, that's another thing. When you do these tests, you got to save those posts. But I do want to go back, like you said, now and contact each of these persons who mentioned I want to write a book, and some of them put their titles too. It would be interesting to go back and reach out to each of them individually.
That's hot. That's good. I like that. That's hot. I like that.
Thank you, Mike. I mean, as we wind down here, Mike, give us a short recap on the principle of reciprocity, networking, and how we can build relationship using that principle. And then share with us, how can people get in touch with you? What's your website? What's product programs and services you offer?
Okay. The key element is building relationships. And it doesn't have to be at networking events. I didn't share that with you. It could be at your business, your place of business. You have a vendor that comes in, try to build that relationship with him, because that person can be a referral source for you. So everybody, not just at networking events, everybody that you deal with in your business realm, your circle of influence, try to build those relationships. And when you build those relationships, they actually become, and that reciprocal relationship, using the reciprocity as your vehicle in building that relationship. Because when you just try to build a relationship, it's really hard to build that relationship, because trust takes a while, and reciprocity helps you jumpstart from not knowing that person to knowing that person really faster than if you do it the traditional, natural way. And so if you want to, what we do is we do training. We provide training. We have 107 topics that we train on. We do online, offsite, on-site, and we travel all over the United States. Even we've went to Paraguay also. So we go all over the world and actually do this training. And the way you can contact me is my phone number is 956-215-7615. And my website is cminstituteleadership.com.
Okay, one more time.
What's that?
Give it one more time. Give the website again.
Okay, cminstituteleadership.com.
Okay.
And everybody's always wondering, CM, they're thinking Chris and Mike. No, actually it means civilian military.
Well, I really thought, even for me, I thought it was also Chris and Michael.
We freak people out with that. It means civilian and military, because we actually do both contract. We do civilian and military contracts.
Okay.
All right.
That's funny. That's good.
Awesome.
Well,
All right, Gail,
this has been really good, Mike. I'm gonna put you on the spot. Will you come back?
Mm-hmm.
Because you said something, and unfortunately, I'm telling you, it does not take long for this time to go by. You mentioned that one of your targets audiences, I guess, is that you work with network marketers, MLMers.
Yes.
And I would love to have that conversation, because they do not know how to network. They don't. Yes. They just don't.
You're right.
It would be great to have you come on and talk to specifically about that audience and how they can do networking the right way.
Oh, I would love to
help improve their success rate.
Yes, so, and the reason MLMers don't really know how to network is, remember, they're coming in from they're not really starting a business from scratch like you and I or Chance did. They're actually going directly into a franchise, similar to a franchise,
right?
And so they don't have the skill sets. Some of them don't have some of them, not all of them.
Some of them don't. Right, exactly.
Yeah, some of them don't. And I tell you what, that's the ones I try to focus on and helping those individuals.
Yes, they need help.
Yes, they do. Yeah,
they need help, man.
I have a story I'll share with you about one MLMer that was a good relationship builder. And I don't know how we have time to share with this guy. We're running out of time, right?
Actually, yeah.
Okay. Okay. Well, this will carry on to that, because he's an MLMer, and I'll share that with you on the next episode. Okay.
Okay. That awesome. Would really be terrific, because people are really, they don't know it. They really are good at networking. I mean, especially teachers and coaches, basketball athletic coaches, things like that already teach. They are good at networking. But I'm telling you, as soon as they get involved with a business that they're going to get compensated, it's everything is blown. It's just gone. It's just totally gone. Right. And like I said, I know this firsthand, because I've been there, done that. Got the T-shirt. Okay, I'm telling you, I've done it all.
Yes.
So this has really been good. You've given us some great nuggets, absolutely, that I am going to use. I know Chance is going to use too. So this has really, really been beneficial. And
contact me if you ever need any help, and I'm here to help you and the audience, anybody in the audience.
Well, I really do appreciate that. And I can attest to Michael, because I am telling you, he has been a huge cheerleader since we launched the show, and I'm so appreciative, because I'm like, yes, there goes Michael. I know Michael's gonna be there. Nobody else is. He's there.
Yep.
So I really, really appreciate that.
Sure.
We are at the top of the hour, and I know Chance alluded to this. I want to tell you guys this, share this with you guys really, really quick. For a lot of people that are in business, they're in networking, they're in all these various types of businesses. And one of the things that we recognize is that it's hard sometimes to distinguish yourself, to step out, to what do you call it? To come out. You got to come out, and you've got to rise above the noise and above all of the clutter in a way. Again, going back to the people who are involved with network marketing, you've got a product or a service that you want to share. However, you've got there are a whole lot of people all in your same industry or all in your same company. Mm-hmm. Now you're trying to figure out, well, what do I do? How do I stand out from the rest? And so one of the ways that you can do that is to be a guest on a live broadcast or on a podcast. Podcasting is ginormous, and it is really going like gangbusters. And because of platforms such as these, between Periscope and Facebook Live and YouTube Live, and there are a number of broadcasters who are looking for people that they can interview that can add value to their guests as they're building their audience. But here's the trick. It's great to come on, but you need to know what to do, how to be the most effective. And so and I've been a live streamer for about 2 years now. And my whole model is interviewing people. That's one of the things I enjoy doing. So I'd love to have people come on, but I have recognized there are certain people or there's certain skill sets to coming on and being effective. Mm-hmm. Okay. So what we decided to do was I'm going to do a workshop. I'm going to teach a course on not only how to come on, how to be effective, what tools you need, how to look good, how to sound good, and how to pitch other podcasters and broadcasters so that you can be on multiple shows. So if I shouldn't even say if that has an interest for you, but I'm going to say it to be nice. If it doesn't have an interest, then there's something's going on because anyone who's in business, they know that exposure is really key. And if you recognize the fact that anytime there's a new movie coming out, anytime that someone has a new book coming out, first thing they do is they go on all of the network shows. Well, now because of the internet, you have that opportunity too. But you want to make sure that you're doing it right so that you can be the most effective that you can be. Because if you ever got the call that, hey, we need you to come on the Daily Show. Hey, we need you to come on the Tonight Show. You want to know how to conduct yourself and how to make the most out of that. So I am doing a workshop. What I need you to do, if you say, look, Gail, I want to be in here because we have totally limited it. We've totally limited it, okay, to about 20 seats. So if you want to be one of those ones and you want to find out more, then what you need to go is to bit.ly, bit.ly / what is it, monetize? Is it MonetizeU?
Yeah, they can go to actually the MonetizeUShow.com. Curtis should have it up there. The MonetizeUShow.com / get known faster - course. The MonetizeUShow.com / get known faster - course. And you should be able to get it right there.
Okay, so say that one more time, slowly.
The MonetizeUShow.com, that's our regular website, the MonetizeUShow.com / get known faster, all one word, get known faster - course. Course. And so we put that up as well on the Facebook page as well.
Okay, awesome. So that information will be here. So with all that being said, once again, I definitely want to thank Michael. So appreciate you being here. I also, as always, I love to say thank you to the man behind the curtain. You guys, we look good, right? We doing good, right? You don't know what it takes to put this show together. And who we have to thank for that is our producer, Mr. Curtis Brooks. His company is Curtis Brooks Media Production. He puts our show together every week. He also produces other shows. And so he is like the best. So you will get to see him. We're going to bring him from behind the curtain up in front of the camera. I think it's September 19th, if I remember correctly. So you'll get to see him and get to see why he is so fabulous and why so many people are now clamoring for him to produce their show. So I definitely want to thank him and my co-host, and Mr. R.L. Chance. He is like just the bomb. Y'all heard about him today. I'm telling you, he is like the master implementation strategist. Okay, regardless whether you want to get a book done, whether you have no idea what kind of stuff Chance has been doing. Oh my God, y'all, you're gonna get to hear some more about him too, because you would be surprised at the kind of talent that's here. So I am very grateful to have Chance and Curtis as a part of our total team. It's amazing.
Teamwork, sis. Teamwork makes the dream work.
That's right. That's right. Teamwork makes the dream work. So with that, everybody, thank you so much for being here, for connecting with us. You know, we are here every Tuesday at 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Central, the MonetizeU Show. And for those of you who did not catch this live, you will be able to catch it on our Facebook page, as Chance mentioned earlier, at the MonetizeU, the letter U, Show on Facebook. All of our past shows are on our Facebook page, as well as on our website, themonetizeushow.com. So, Chance, have I forgotten anything? Am I good?
You got it. Thank you guys for coming. Now go out and implement what you learned today.
Absolutely. So I always said in every show, if you can imagine it, you can monetize it. So just go make it happen, guys. See y'all next week.